contact with her husband. Now, the minimum amount of time is 5 days, and then after that she needs to count 7 days, which makes a total of 12. For some people it's different. It can be less, it can be a bit more, but the minimum is 5, and then 7, and then after that she goes to mikveh. Now when a woman goes to mikveh, she prepares herself to go into the ritual bath. There should be no substance coming between the woman and the waters of the mikveh. So even if a woman has like a bit of pen ink on her, she has to make sure to get that off. No jewelry should be worn, no earrings, even false teeth, contact lenses. There should be nothing coming in contact, like in between the woman and the waters. It should just be the woman immersing herself in the holy waters, and that's it. Now when she goes to the mikveh, there is another woman present to make sure that she goes totally under and that the water covers her all the way, that even her hair shouldn't be sticking out above the waters. And you make a blessing and you immerse yourself into the water, and then the woman says that, it was okay, and you get dressed again and you go home, and it's a very special time because then you can resume physical relations with your husband. It's almost like your wedding night all over again type of thing. It's just every month it's a very special time together, and you make it a special time.
Something else also which was good, that part of the mitzvah, part of the commandment, part of the whole setup of mikveh is that when the lady comes back from mikveh, that evening she gets together with her husband and have relations. So in a funny way, right, a marriage which is not doing so well, right, once a month, the husband and wife are forced to make time to be together and make sure that they can actually sleep together in the same bed.
When a marriage does break down, Jewish law allows for divorce, and the Beth Din mediates between the husband and wife.
It's difficult for both of you. He's also going through trauma.
The divorce only becomes final when there's an agreement given by the husband to the wife. It's written by a scribe in Hebrew in a document called the Get.
It's quite interesting actually that even something as sad, so to speak, as a document which affects the breakup of a marriage, nevertheless is written in a very artistic and in a very meticulous way. And the Dayan will go through the document with the couple and explain to them what's been written, so that when the husband gives his wife the document, both of them are well aware. There's no personal information there as far as the cause of the breakdown of the marriage. It's merely a record of the fact that Mr. A releases Mrs. A from the responsibilities of marriage, and the corollary of that is that therefore she is free to marry again in Jewish law. So this document now has to dry, and let you into a little trade secret. It would take quite a long time to dry, but with the use of a hairdryer we can save a lot of time.
It's April, and the Jewish community prepares for one of the most important festivals of the year, the festival of Passover.
On Pesach, Passover, we're not allowed to eat anything, not allowed to eat any chametz, any leaven, anything which is risen. So you can only eat things which are not come into contact, not risen. Flour and water. If you leave flour and water together for any length of time, it becomes chametz. Longer than 18 minutes. If you make flour and water and leave them for 18 minutes, on Pesach you're not allowed to use it. So no cakes, no breads, none of that on Pesach. It commemorates the Exodus, the Jews leaving Egypt. We were slaves in Egypt, and God took us out, and we left in such a hurry that the bread that we were baking never had time to rise. So ever since then, we've been eating these things called matzos.
Susan is preparing for Passover. It's not just eating leavened bread that's forbidden. All traces of it have to be purged from the house.
When we prepare for Pesach, we are getting rid of the inflation of the ego, which is something that in Jewish religion is totally abhorrent and totally not acceptable. God does not like anybody who's full of himself, and so that's what we're working out. Every time we're sort of searching out and separating out the, getting rid of all the crumbs and it's all really about deflating ourselves and our own ego. So even the men who probably don't do anything at all, really this is the message of Pesach, which is get rid of your arrogance and your haughtiness and just accept everybody, being equal.
I remember the first time I saw a Passover kitchen. Everybody does it differently, but I thought I'd seen something going into space. I walked in and my cousin's kitchen was completely covered in tin foil, just because it was easy.
So what happens then exactly then?
Oh, what happens? Well, the whole house is cleaned out because we're looking for leaven. Anything that might be bread, cakes, any sort of crumbs. Also, we don't have whiskey and vinegar and anything that's fermented. Beer,
So the whole
we wouldn't
kitchen-
use.
Well, why is the
So the whole house has to be scrubbed.
My husband's asked me 100 times, is there anything I can do? And I say, yeah, just do this, and that is the exact thing that he forgets to do. Oh, he's here! Wow! Oh, wonderful! Hey, yeah, you forgot to plug it out, didn't you, dear?
Susan's husband, Avraham, is head rabbi at the local synagogue.
Actually, can you undo the what do you call it? Oh, you're doing it now, right? Aaron, help.
Aaron, come here.
Aaron, help Daddy here, please. Do you want me to tape it closed here? So it's going to hit you in the face.
There's a special Passover cooker stored in the shed and only brought out once a year.
Put it back on the thing.
Go around and help Daddy get the thing. I know people who go away every year and they just don't bother. They don't bother doing it. It's just such a lovely feeling, isn't it, Tracy? Even Tracy agrees with me. Wonderful. She said she learned from here how to go home and drive her husband potty.
Yeah.
Tracy, what do you think about all this then?
I think it's amazing. I love cleaning.
She's a good cleaner.
Yeah.
She does love cleaning.
I do love it, yeah.
She does. She really loves it. When things are really filthy and dirty, she gets job satisfaction.
Yeah.
When it's all neat and tidy, she's not interested.
We're covering everything. We're covering it with tin foil because it lasts longer than paper, especially when it gets wet. And that was a microwave. Yes, it still is a microwave. It's all nicely covered up because no matter how clean I get it, there might still be something there. That's Shalom. And steam, if I put a hot pot of chicken soup under here, the steam might release some chomets that might fall into the pot. And as I said, the whole point about Pesach is to be very, very, very stringent about everything. So we are. I mean, the whole idea is not to cause damage, but to heat it up sufficiently so it's kosher.
Dina, when you finish that tea, we'll
Coffee.
Right, oh, we could have put this cooker in. He did ask what he could do, didn't he? We need to put this cooker into place. The women are the ones that really are doing all this work. How the men manage, I don't know, because they don't really get involved in all this. But on the other hand, they're the ones that really have to set the tone in the house, the religious tone in the house. We live the way we do because that is the way he wants his household to function and how he hoped his kids would turn out. And so he sets the